G'day guys, Defiant from Defiant Mods here. Recently I did a little build for a case mod I wanted, basically a scratch build. And during the build I decided I wanted one of those little system monitors, and I've been looking around and I saw all the Raspberry Pi ones and everything, but I really was after something just a little bit more basic than that could monitor just the simple things, you know, temperature, CPU, GPU, and with the ability to be able to add anything else I wanted to pop in later, just something simple. And after a bit of searching on the old YouTube, I came across this fella, TechFTP, and he had a fantastic little how-to on how to repurpose your old mobile phones with a bit of software that you can download from the App Store. And he does a great job explaining it all, telling you how to get it all done, get it all set up, and get it all working. So of course I went straight to the drawers and started digging out all the old mobile phones, as you do, you know, a bunch of old S2s laying around, some other old S-Thing and Apple, some other crap laying around. So I got to work in trying to fit one into this case mod, and this one here is a purpose-built one. So I've basically this one's installed into this case permanently as a fixed feature. So it's actually built in there. So when the case is sitting beside me on the desktop, I can just look over and see it all working. Great screens to look at. I mean, you know, AMOLED LED screens, you know, they're fantastic. I got it set up pretty simply at the moment, as you can see, so it's really basic. I did have it set up a lot more complex with a lot more on there, smaller gauges, you know, smaller graphs, smaller, but with a lot more, you know, just recording all the fans and SSD activity and stuff like that. But what I found happened was that it seemed to overload the little Galaxy S2, and I bricked it. So what I've decided is just to keep it a bit more simple now, is to not brick another Galaxy S2. Not, you know, they're not worth much, but you don't want to be bricking them if you don't have to. I imagine what it was just having so many gauges on that tiny little phone. It just overheated the CPU, and one day they just stopped working. The phone never wanted to start again, and it basically was bricked. Yeah. So what I will add to what I'll made up here, you know, to his work on the thing. So what he's going to tell you about is a really cool little program you can download from the App Store called Remote Systems Monitor by Trigon. And you wouldn't think it's anything flash, and it's not really, but geez, it really does do the job well. But what I found with these older phones is they don't like to stay on. I was having a lot of problems configuring this phone not to switch off. Not an easy thing to do. They just want to switch off, and no matter what I did in the settings on this one, it would just shut. It'd switch off. You know, the screen just kept going into night-night mode. So I went looking, and I found this little one here called No Screen Off, and this has worked a treat. This is absolutely one click, download the app, install it, click it, she stays on. You'll get a little yellow icon up there in the top left hand corner, and there you go, she's working. The other thing I'll add to, as well, as I don't think anyone's really mentioned it, is that I've worked it. You can run multiple instances of this off the one server. So once you get this set up, you download some server and put it on your PC, some server software, and you put that on the computer. You set that up. This is all really basic and easy stuff. Old mate here tells you exactly what to do. I won't go too much into that. And but what I found is that you can then import and export those settings to other devices. And I think I Bluetoothed one to the other or something like that, or can't remember how I did it, but I just basically copied, cut and paste here. It gives you a big string that you can cut and paste from that one once you set it up, and you just copy it over to that one, run the software and import it in, and Bob's your uncle. There you go. You're running it on multiple devices. So, and again, if I really wanted to, I'm 100% sure I could run a third device too if I really wanted to. So I could just set it up on that one, and if for the sake of wanting to run three lots of that software, you can do it. But it's a brilliant piece of software. I can't recommend it highly. If you want a system monitor, the other thing too is that it runs. It runs over runs over Wi-Fi, so it's wireless, and that's a bonus. But to charge the phone, I've actually used an internal cable. Probably can't see it. No, of course not. But I've run an internal cable that keeps that phone constantly charged. It's charging up. It did go flat. I had it unplugged for a while. But yeah, it charges from inside, and then with the no monitor off software, it stays on all the time. But you can also just run an external cable straight out to USB if you want. You know, just a little thing. You can run that out the back of your case and plug it into the back, and that'd work fine, just as good as what I'm running in there. So there it is. Remote system monitor. Fantastic piece of little software. No screen off. It'll keep your phone on, so you don't have to worry about it going to sleep every 10 minutes or half an hour, whenever it'll do it. And you got yourself a brilliant little system monitoring piece of hardware, I should say. Cheers.